Hey, Alex, do you have a minute?
What's up?
I was wondering if we could go somewhere and talk for a bit.
Oh?
There's been something on my mind, and yeah.
Sure. I think this is the place where it happens.
Well, I don't know. I've just had a lot on my mind lately, and...
Wait for him to speak.
Take your time, man.
Well, I've just been really depressed lately. Thinking about my sister, my parents, just how much life is going to change from now on. My sister was a lot younger than me, but she really was my best friend. And now she's gone. I feel aimless. We had plans, things we wanted to do in the future, places we wanted to go, movies that we wanted to see, new games to play together. And now none of that will happen. Sometimes I wish... You know what I mean, right?
Bad things happen, but life has to move on, right? You don't have your sister anymore, but you have all of us. Michael, me, Vella, Chandra, Claudio. We can't replace your sister, but we're happy that you're still here. If you had become a soul survivor, then we never would have met you, and that's really depressing. I'm not the best with these sort of things, but basically I'm saying I'm happy we met you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. This is awkward. Let's go find the android or something.
Kiss Rory!
Hey! No. Yeah, don't do that again.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
Aw, man.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. Look, it's not like you're not cool, I'm just not into you that way.
Yeah, I get it. Sorry.
Anyway, man, I'm feeling really depressed since my sister passed away. Cool. Let me slap.
Not romantically, at least.
Oh, have I made him come to a realization about himself? I think I like dudes now.
I love my mother, and I love my sister, my cousins, my female friends. I love them, but not in the way that's filled with a romantic sense of love. I've had 7 girlfriends throughout college and high school.
7?
None of them lasted long, and I never minded when things were over. Something funny happened that night when I went to bed. I had a dream again. Yes, it was about the android. She wasn't trapped inside a moving van. She was free and human. In my dream, I knew her very well. We'd been together for a long time. We weren't old. We didn't get old. I knew inside my heart how well she treated me. I knew, for the first time, she was the only woman I'd ever treated well.
Red flag.
Inside my dream world, she entered my dreams. She entered my thoughts. She filled up every part of my mind, even the parts I wanted to hide away. She was like the old Bruce Lee quote, "Be like water." She was my water, rushing into all the cracks. Nothing could be hidden from her, but I didn't mind. She didn't judge. She didn't have a place to judge. She, unlike all other humans, was aware of human flaws. She didn't pretend we didn't think about hatred, violence, jealousy, sex. It was a person.
Okay, so he's gone from fixating on a missing girl who he never actually met to a musician who may or may not actually be in the story, or he might just be adding her. And now he's started focusing on a lady-shaped robot.
She got that. Now, if only she was too. She is, and always will be, a woman made of plastic.
Don't worry, there's websites for that.
I know how funny this sounds. Trust me, I do. How can a woman made of plastic be loved so much by a real flesh and blood human? I woke up the next morning in a cold sweat. What was I feeling? It was like a warm light surrounded me. Someone had flipped a switch in my brain, and I now understood something I wasn't capable of understanding before. I felt a weird joy inside me. Like I had a secret no one else was allowed to know. A secret that was meant only for my ears. And it was the android who told me. But it couldn't. I tried to recall the dream, but it was already slipping away to the periphery of my mind. I couldn't remember specific scenes, but I could remember the feeling the dream had given me, and I knew they wouldn't be leaving me. I thought about Michael, then Rory, then Claudio, then Chandra. I had no desire to see any of them. I thought about Vella and Sammy, and I felt weird, like I had done something wrong, as if I had wronged them somehow in the dream.
As if I had objectified and obsessed over them.
And just like that, suddenly I needed to see Vella. But why? Why did I suddenly have the urge to apologize?
Because you realized you're an asshole.
No, that wasn't it. Thank her? No, I don't know why. But I needed to find her and do it alone.
I gotta give that mixtape back to that ghost's brother, and I also need to tell that other ghost that his girlfriend doesn't love him. Life is too short for school. You should have lived life while you could. They say Y2K will kill us all. I wonder what use my education was. I mean, you're old. Has he not had, like, a rich, full life? Man, I'm so lonely these days. Seems like the entire world is going to hell. All this talk about the Y2K virus is scaring the crap out of me. Times like this, it's important to think about family, you know? I wish I had one. I'm all alone in the world, just like you. No mom, no dad, all you've got is that stuffed panda you carry around. Oh, interesting. So apparently the game, like, I've heard talk that the game actually takes place in, like, 2016. And it's only presented as being the 90s because that's when time kind of stopped for Alex. And, like, that's very interesting, but it's also very confusing because, like, so much of this game's aesthetic and design is, like, set in the 90s. Everything looks pretty much 90s, except for a few little things here and there, like Rory being a scene kid, Alex being, like, a 2010s hipster. So, son, I wanted to tell you. I've made quite a nice profit. Turns out the guys in the home don't like walking to the park to get their pick-me-ups, so I buy in bulk and turn them around for a nice chunk of change. Sadly, the world ends next month. Can't take all this wealth with me. Oh, I wonder if is the medicine exploit, like, intentional? What if Y2K destroys the planet and I never made up with my sister? She'd probably deserve it. She's got such an attitude. If the planet catches fire and we all explode in a shower of sparks and cheers, that'll be okay. At least I have my family. Who will you spend your last days with? Morbid. Y2K? More like Y2K, as in why does the world have to end, am I right? I'm going to go to the city for New Year's. Any chance you'll be there? Why, was she waiting outside my house to ask me this? Hang on a second. This lady went from being completely not interested in Alex to being interested in Alex, and now she's standing outside his house. I don't like this. Dude, is that thing ever happening? I gave you so much of my hard-earned money. It was $10, Alex. Like, seriously, did you just take the money and run? You only gave me $10. That's hardly enough to run away to a nice island. Well, where the hell is it? You promised this to me. It's just, look, it turns out finishing things is hard. It's also a lot more expensive than I thought it would be. I tried every way I could think of to make this happen, but still I'm out of money. I lost my job this morning, and now I owe people a magazine I can't actually afford to print. So Alex, what should I do? Well, I guess there isn't really anything to do besides give up. I never really expected you to finish it. Making things is hard, and the added pressure of people around you begging for it all the time just crushes your soul. But I gotta ask you, are you really the kind of guy who isn't gonna ever finish that? You went out of your way to ask people for money and to write articles? There has to be some way for you to finish it. Well, not unless you want to give me another $1,259.23. What do you say? You know what? Okay. Great. Come back later today and I'll have it finished. Okay, sweet. You donated $1,259.25 to finish funding issue 1 of the zine. My savior, you've returned. Wonderful. What did she say? Uh-huh. 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 Oh. That's all she said? Wow. I guess it's time to move on. However, before I go, I'll tell you the location of my buried treasure. Just, don't tell Beatrice I told you where they are hidden. Just to our left is a hole in the wall. Go up there and dig into the side of the mountain. That's where you'll find my secrets. Buried treasure. I can't talk to him anymore. Huh. I've wasted my life looking both ways before crossing the street. What do you waste your life on? I have the patience of a saint. You would too if you had my mother. Can't wait for Y2K to happen. Then all the world will look for a hero. That hero is gonna be me, or most likely my brother. I can tell my brother has a plan to save the world from Y2K. I wonder if I can beat him to it. You stupid liar! You stole that from Leonardo DiCaprio and Shakespeare! Oh, it was Romeo and Juliet. No babe, I never heard of Shakespeare. Is that even a real name? I think she's onto us. Abort! Abort! Things have been really weird lately, don't you think? Something just seems off. Want something to take away the fear? The world ends soon. Might as well not have a heart attack worrying about it. Oh, she's still here.
I love the fall, but sometimes I hate it. Does that make sense? Of course it doesn't. Probably because I get so sad to see it go. I like Thanksgiving, that's always fun. But like, Christmas? That's always depressing. The celebration always makes me feel uncomfortable. Like, are you really happy, or are you just pretending because it's Christmas?
I never thought of it that way. I love the fall too. It always meant seeing my friends again, but I guess starting school again sucks. You know, I haven't thought about school since like last winter or spring, whenever it was. I don't miss tests or any of that shit, but I miss learning. I was good at school. I'm not a genius, but I'm great at writing, philosophy, psych. I don't think I'm great at anything that helps real life, though. Maybe dreaming. I have a lot of dreams. Things I want to happen. Now, if only they'd be grounded in reality.
What's that thing they say about dreams and poets?
We're sad sacks.
Something like that.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Go for it, Ginger Boy.
What was your world like? The one you came from?
This is weird.
You know, I don't think anyone has asked me that since I've been here.
Well, how many people know you're from an alternate dimension? You're not just broadcasting that everywhere, are you?
Wow. I try not to think about my old reality, but it really wasn't all that bad. Things are mostly the same. We had more cows, though. Lots of cows. And the music? Different. Your metal is our pop. Isn't that weird? My mother would love your thrash metal. We also didn't say the 90s. We called it the end times. Isn't that funny? We all joked that 2000 would be the end of the world. That and, well, this is gonna sound weird, but we don't look at death the same way. In this reality, death is like giving up or making a mistake. How can you fault someone for dying?
Okay, so what she said is really interesting. She's not talking about the real world. She's talking about the video game. It's like giving up or making a mistake.
We all publicly acknowledge that when someone dies, you're sad for yourself, not for them. That, and
What is it?
we can call our dead. When my grandmother passed away, I was 12. I've spoken to her once a month for the past 12 years. There are phones, special phones. You put in money, dial the social security number of your loved one, and for 3 minutes you can speak to them. You can talk to them about anything, with one exception. Under no circumstances are you allowed to ask about where they are and how they're feeling.
Cool. What does this have to do with anything, though?
If you do, they lose their phone privileges forever, and you have a 10-year hold on your account.
What? Like, for real?
Yes. And we never dream. I didn't know about dreams when I first came here. I had my first dream the night before I met you.
Must be fate.
We also don't have fate where I come from. I think we never put ourselves in that sort of box. You take away your own freedom by even pretending things like that might exist.
What did you see when you traversed the soul space? What was it like?
I don't have the talent with words to explain it. It's something you should see for yourself.
What? Leave my body? I don't think I could ever.
Maybe not, but... Okay, look at it this way. Before I traveled the soul space, I was a different person. Someone who got hurt by someone. Someone who believed they were loved unconditionally. When I was out there, I realized unconditional love exists, but only as something to strive for. It's just a concept. There's no way to actually put it into practice. We can say we love someone unconditionally, and we can act like we do. But it's not to judge people for what they did to you or someone else. To accept someone for being human.
Accept someone for being human? I know what you mean, but isn't that funny? Coming from a human? We're all human. We all have flaws, we all hurt each other, but is that the thing to be fixated on? And I do believe unconditional love exists.
Oh? Have you felt it before then?
So what if I have?
From who? What's her name?
I don't know. It's just, I had this dream. And in this dream, I was loved unconditionally. Whoever loved me loved my flaws and loved my mistakes as much as they loved the things worth making me loved. Is that so hard to believe?
Yes.
Sounds like a dream. So, who was she? Spit it out. Was it Sammy Park?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it was. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was the android in the van. Maybe it was all three of you as one being.
Well, I think you're a lazy ass half the time, so I don't think I'm the one to love you unconditionally. But yes, keep chasing the missing girl who entered the soul space. I'm sure when you finally find her, she'd love you unconditionally.
Hey, that's not fair. Also, Sammy is out there. She isn't in the soul space. I can feel her out there.
She's really not, though. Also, she's in your yard.
Maybe you're feeling her out there in the soul space.
Maybe. So, Vella, what the hell are we gonna do about finding the android? She's trapped in the van and...
Calm down. You haven't checked Onism 1999 today, have you?
Yes, I did.
Rory made a thread pointing out a mysterious van in all the most recent and believable posts. And here's a strange one for you. In one of the photos of Sammy Park, there's a van. He asked everyone who sees the van to reply to the thread and post a location so we can check it out.
Wait, are you serious? How did I not see this? Holy crap. Okay, I need to go back and check. Wow, this is perfect. So that means she's around here then.
Well, I mean, vans have wheels, so it could be far away, but yeah, it could be.
We're gonna need a car. How else can we catch up to it? Do you have a car?
No. You're forgetting I've lived in this reality for a year. How do you expect me to even have a license? I don't even have a social security number, and I make minimum wage at an arcade.
Damn. I wonder if Mom would let me borrow hers.
Claudio has a van. You could ask him if he'd drive you around. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, so clearly they've all been hanging out without him.
He's a bit older than us, so it makes sense. I think he's in his late 20s. You should spend some time with him and Chandra, really get to know them first.
Wait, isn't Vella also in her late 20s?
Not usually a good idea to ask for rides unless you really know someone. At least where I come from.
Yeah, good idea. You know, this is gonna sound a bit weird. Lately, I felt like I don't even know my own reality. The more I think about it, nothing is as I remembered. When I was a kid, things felt different. Pre-college Alex's life was so much more simple. I never noticed all these things, all these strange things.
That's how I felt right before I left my reality. Maybe you're starting to get it, whatever it is.